All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Master Esteban Baez. I'm a fifth degree black belt in Taekwondo and also a student of personal development for many years. And today we're going to do a show titled Where Does Self Esteem Come From? And as always, I have my good friend and certified hypnotherapist Justin Kunz with me today. Justin, are you there?
Yes, I am. Master Baez. It's very nice to be here with you. Very nice to be here with you, the viewer. And I hope that you get a lot of benefit from our video today.
Excellent, excellent. So let's get started. The question today is, where does self-esteem come from? So why don't you give us your answer, Justin, and then we'll discuss it.
Sure. It's this is such a broad subject and such a broad category. What the information that you're receiving right now is based from my schooling, the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, which is a nationally accredited school, a very good quality education. Now, self-esteem comes from our formative years, for the most part. That is when we're almost like a blank canvas or a sponge, and we're just absorbing in the world. And what we're doing is in those early years, primarily, the period between like 3 and 9, okay, when we're really understanding who we are as individuals and the world around us, is that time period, where you're actually beginning to understand how you respond to the world and how the world responds to you. So look at your childhood. Now, there's two main areas or types of instances that can really impact a child. And think about this with your own children if you have them, or other people's children whenever you see them in their household. One is direct influence on your life, or very short, impactful memories that define who you are. Oh, that's our puppy, Chihuahua, right? So, shortly, these are like instances and moments where it might be with your parent, and they looked at you and they said, you are a beautiful young lady, and you're going to do wonderful things. Or quite the opposite, you're worthless and you have poo for brains, right? And it's the truth. Oftentimes, as we grow up, we have parents and influence in our lives that are very, on those polar opposites. So one is direct influences onto your life. Now, alternatively, it's on the other side, the second major influence in your childhood is emulating others. So, and oftentimes, again, we look back to those parental figures, okay, as well as peer groups as you're growing up, the friends that you're surrounded with, and also your teachers, okay, they are, to us, mentors. And emulating and seeing how those people react in the world and how they respond to others and how they see themselves, we learn those same unconscious and subconscious habits and outlooks and beliefs. So if you have a father and your father is a major influence and teaches you how to respond to the world, and you have a father who's very inward drawn, doesn't know how to respond to authority, you're going to see your father in those instances, and you're going to think that that is how you should respond to authority, or
Okay,
that's how you should respond in relationships.
good. Let me interrupt you for just a moment. This is very valuable information, and I want to make sure that our viewers are understanding what you're saying and that I'm getting exactly what you're saying. So the main thing, what I'm understanding from what you're saying, is that self-esteem is generated, or we learn how to esteem ourselves by watching first our parents, our direct environment. It would be our immediate family, and then by then watching the environment around us that's not necessarily directly influenced, but maybe in school or our aunts and uncles or maybe a friend of the family and so on and so forth when we're young, when our mind is can be impressed, and it's learning. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Think about it. There's two main things. One is experience, and the other is emulation. So either you experience something that has a powerful impact on you, or you see it happen to someone else, and you begin to understand that that's how you should respond to the world.
Got it. So it's based on experience, and then got it. Okay. So do you
So,
have do you have
yeah.
do you have an exercise for us today to? I'm just curious.
Yes, we do. Yes, and this is a really really cool exercise that I think that you'll really benefit from, that you can do yourself on your own time. I recommend, just like anything in the other exercises that we do together and that you've learned through our videos, you can do these every day, with yourself, just with the guidance and the practice. And just like riding a bike, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at doing these exercises that really positively affect your self-esteem.
Well, in fact, I want to emphasize this because, as you know, I've been a student of personal development, and it doesn't take just one time to master your life. You need to practice, and I think that's one idea that is not always put out when some of these great authors put out a book. They tell you to do the exercises, so on and so forth, but you got to remember, before they even wrote that book, they've had 15 years of experience on that topic, and they've mastered their lives. So it took them some time to get to where they are, and it's going to take us some time to heal our self-esteem. It's not going to happen overnight, but if we practice it, we can see results pretty quickly. So I think that's very important that we emphasize this. So please make sure you understand that it's going to take time, but it's definitely possible to heal and increase your self-esteem. So go ahead, Justin, take it away.
Yes, and that's absolutely right, Master Baez. It does take time, and it's life mastery, not day mastery. So, first off, there's really two exercises, but I'm just going to do one because the other exercise we are actually including whenever you sign up for the free notifications for the video. So that's the actual other exercise I'm going to recommend that is in this direct area, and that's the emulation. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Make sure you
Hmm.
register at our page, reprogramyourself.com, and you'll get that second exercise.
Cool. So this exercise is really impactful. So what I'd like you to do, and I'd like to invite you to do, is go ahead and relax your body, relax your mind, and close your eyes if you like. That helps you visualize and imagine. And take the time now to relax. That's right. Relax. An easy way to relax your mind, slow your thoughts, is to take your tongue, the tip of your tongue, and push it to the roof of your mouth. And you'll notice when you do that, your thoughts slow and they quiet. And imagine you are a young boy or girl, a young child, and you're very young, you're 6 years old. And you're sitting in a room, it's really comfortable, it's very beautiful and bright. And it feels familiar. It feels good to you. And notice what it's like now. to be 6 years old. Notice how you feel. Notice how you speak to yourself. Notice what you think of the world as a 6-year-old. Notice what you see and how you see it now as a 6-year-old. And there's a door just off to the side, leading into the room. And in a moment, there's going to be a very loving person coming through that door. Maybe it's a person who you know very well, or maybe a person who you have not thought about for some time. In a moment, the door is going to open, and this person who loves you a great deal is going to walk through and into the room with you. And allow the door now to open and this person to come in. And this person who loves you dearly looks at you, and you can see the emotion, you can see the expression, you can see the love, you can understand the love in their face. And allow that person now to see through your own eyes, looking at this person, come closer to you, and allow that person now to express their love to you. Hear the words, the tonality, the physical touch, if there is. And really notice what it's like to be loved. And really allow it to happen to you. And now, feeling loved and appreciated, begin to grow with this love and appreciation inside of you. Grow up now through the years, carrying this love with you, all the way up to your current age now, having developed all this time. Noticing how this love is manifested throughout your body, throughout your mind, your way of looking at things. The way that you speak to yourself, having developed all these years now with such honest and true love, appreciation. And when you are at your current age now, having developed all these years with that love, open your eyes.
All right.
And what was it like, Esteban? Would you like to, Master Baez, would you like to share your experience?
Sure, yeah. When I was 6 years old, I visualized myself back at one of the homes that we lived as children, my sister and I, with my parents. This was back in Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico originally. So I saw myself in my bedroom because I had a bedroom. My sister had her own bedroom as well. And but I saw myself in that house. I really, it was kind of hard to remember details, but I just visualized and just worked with the idea of being in that room. When you said visualize the door and watch the person come in that you loves you and so on and so forth, I picture my mother. I did have. I'm very fortunate to have a mom that I know for sure she loved me with all of her heart. Um, And I know that as I grew up, it was difficult for her uh, to break that bond. I guess, as we grow up, we want to become independent and so on and so forth. But it was hard for my mom because she really, really was attached to me and she loved me very much. So I saw that. I grew up and I was able to become the person that I am today because you said bring it back to today. And I realized that a huge reason why I've experienced a lot of good in my life is because of that love that she gave me. I've learned to love myself um, to where I am today. So it, it kind of like gave me some insight on love that I've received. And if I remember that, then I won't feel as insecure in other situations if I remember that I'm loved, not just by my mother, because then I thought about of all the people that love me. As we were exiting the exercise, I wondered who else could walk in through that door. And the next person was my father that I had in mind. And I also thought about my sister, who I know loves me very much also. So I feel very fortunate, and I'm not sure, you know, what would you say to a viewer that didn't have my experience? Maybe it was hard for them to think of someone walking in through that door that was loving. So let's conclude with the answer to that question, Justin. I think unless if you want to give some feedback about what I said, that's fine. But what about my concern is what about someone that didn't grow up in that environment as loving, with a loving mother and father and sister and brothers like I did?
That's a very good question. That really is. There are, unfortunately, a lot of people who have gone through a very bad childhood and have loving parents and had a very hard time growing up in their household. Now, the person who walks in does not need to be your mother or father. It can be even a sister or a brother, a cousin, an aunt, uncle. It could be a stranger. It could be a person, if we were to just imagine like Mother Teresa or Jesus Christ, who has unconditional love for all people. Mahatma Gandhi, can you imagine that?
So when we do this exercise, we could put anyone there. It could be pretend, right? It doesn't have to be a fact. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The important thing is to feel that love from that other person and just experience it. The Dalai Lama,
Okay, so we're
as an
basically
example.
we're doing like a reprogramming here. We're going back and we're imagining receiving that love at 6 years old and growing up with that love up to the present moment. How would we feel today if we had that love? I got you.
Absolutely. And just taking that time the last thing is to put yourself back at that young age is such a powerful state to do any type of reprogramming, hypnosis, affirmations, any of the other techniques that we've done. You kind of compound the effect by going back to that young, that state, that being, that blank canvas or that sponge, and then doing the program, because in your mind you are literally putting it back in your timeline and you're developing throughout the years with it.
So then, if I really believe this exercise, let's say I didn't have a loving childhood, right? But I said, you know what? I'm going to reprogram my childhood today. I'm going to just know that I'm still alive and I'm going to just, let's say I have a spiritual belief. I'm going to say that God was there, right? Or whoever, whoever I believe. So I go back to the exercise and I say, okay, my guardian angel was there looking out for me, keeping me safe and alive for today. So then I grow up until the present moment, and then that does something to my mind, realizing that I was loved regardless of the pain that was around me.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
That's awesome. Well, I want to give a side note, Justin. I've done this exercise before. I just remember, not with you. I've done it at a Tony Robbins seminar many years ago when I was like, uh, I think I was 21 or maybe even younger. When I went to my first Tony Robbins exercise, he asked us to go back and create a timeline and do this same exercise. So I just want to give the value of this exercise. I paid about $1,000 to get to that seminar many years ago, and we're giving this information out for people to just take advantage. So I really hope our viewers today do this exercise and believe that it actually does work. So if you go back in time and change it in your mind and bring it back to the present moment, it has an effect, and you can begin to heal your self-esteem in this way. Justin, any final thoughts, comments, or whatever you want to say before we end the show?
There's so much to say about self-esteem and improvement. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you, the viewer. Thank you, Master Baez, for having me here. And I hope to get your feedback, and hope this helps you. And I can't wait to be able to hear what wonderful things you do in your life with this.
Excellent. So please comment on this video if you are practicing these exercises. Make sure that you do them, you repeat them somewhere, somehow in your life, that you don't just do it once, because to see the change of this exercise, you have to repeat it. So thank you everyone for watching. Again, this is Master Esteban Baez and my good friend and hypnotherapist Justin Kuntz signing off. Remember to visit the page reprogramyourself.com and register to get part 2 of this exercise. All right, thank you everyone again for watching, and we hope to see you on our next video.